All right, everybody, welcome to our second part of Changes During Adulthood, Part B for today. So, objectives and standards analyze the physical and social changes that occur during adulthood and explain the struggles for adults. And take a brief look at these standards there, if you would, please. And our desired result: how do physical and social changes impact adults? So during adulthood, people face many questions and challenges, such as adulthood can consist of change in sadness, success and failure, stability and crisis, and joy and sadness. People typically mature into what they fully want, or they can face certain limitations sometimes, and the reactions by adults depends upon circumstances, their general outlook on life, and preparations. So there are theories of aging. There's two separate ones here we're going to talk about. So there's a theory of aging that claims our bodies age as a result of breakdowns, in our body's cells. Our bodies become less able to repair themselves as we age, so normal wear and tear on the body is known as aging. Now there's another theory that states our cells have biological clocks that limit the number of times they can divide and multiply to kind of refresh themselves and renew themselves. So when cells reach that limit or begin to reach that limit and begin to die, or cell division occurs inappropriately, this is when aging typically occurs. But both theories show that aging occurs either way. Now there are many changes that occur during adulthood that can be associated with the natural aging process, such as making good choices that reflect health, including exercise, diet, and lifestyle. And these good choices can also result in better emotional health for people. But even if you're pretty healthy as an adult, you can still face some health risk and problems. So some of the health problems adults typically face are cirrhosis of the liver, heart disease, and cancer. These are the three most common causes of death during late adulthood. And these can be caused by risky lifestyles of young adults. So if you don't take care of yourself as an adolescent or a young adult, and you live a very risky lifestyle, these things could come back to unfortunately impact your health later on down the road. Now, early deaths can also be a result of violence, such as accidents, people pushing their physical limits, and even society, because as we've mentioned during adolescence and teenage years, young adults are frequently challenged by society to participate in risky behaviors with drug, alcohol use, even, I don't know, racing cars or something like that. So a lot of risky behaviors that society puts pressure on younger adults to partake in. Now, there are some major changes from women in adulthood in terms of physical stuff. Every woman goes through a stage known as the climacteric between the ages of 45 and 50. And this is a physiological and biological changes occur, including menopause. This is when women stop producing eggs or ovulating and menstruating. So in other words, they can no longer conceive children. Now, most women do not lose their sex drive or experience any discomfort during menopause, but changes such as depression and irritability can occur during menopause. Many, women claim, they're having mood swings or hot flashes. Sometimes they may say, so they do seem to occur, but a lot of times they're more emotional than biological. Some of it is biological, but such as depression and irritability and mood swings, that's more of an emotional change. Now, in terms of men don't really go through any biological changes in terms of physical changes as other than like outward appearance, but men can have children until their very old age. Sometimes their sperm count can decrease, but for the most part, men can have children very late in their lives. But again, remember that most men will face more cognitive and social changes, so like emotional and thinking changes, while women, they don't really go through too many thinking and emotional changes too much. They more go through more physical changes. So that's kind of a difference between men and women there in terms of changes in adulthood. Women face more physical changes, men face more emotional and cognitive changes. So other changes, excuse me. In the United States, about 90% of adults will marry at some point in their lives. However, 40 to 60% of new marriages will typically end in divorce. And there are two things that researchers have discovered that create a successful marriage: how couples will handle conflicts and how couples share happy and intimate moments. Unhappy marriages are often caused by couples that do not argue in a constructive manner, so they're just kind of basically yelling and fighting. They deny the conflict or ignore it. They exaggerate the issues that they're fighting about, or they have very ugly verbal fights. Another thing that doesn't really change during adulthood is sexual activities. It doesn't typically decrease in adults, studies have shown. For example, Virginia Johnson and William Masters pointed out that there's no real physical reasons for stopping sexual activity in adulthood. Now, adults who do cite a decrease in sexual activity claim boredom with their partner. Maybe there's an illness, maybe there's a poor physical condition, or many adults typically accept the idea of, I'm older, I shouldn't be doing these things, so they accept the idea of a loss of sex drive. All right, so our closure for today: how do physical and social changes impact adults? Think about some of the life changes and some of the social changes that impact adults, including like physical capabilities and healthy lifestyles and things like that, and that'll help you answer your question. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and hope to talk to you all soon.